Hi everyone, welcome back to my studio. I'm Louise, if you've never met me before. I'm an artist and I am obsessed with everything to do with gold leaf. And I'm growing my channel and I'm staying in my lane and I am just gold, gold, gold all the way. So you can learn tutorials from me, you can be inspired about what type of artwork you could create with gold leaf. Or you could just enjoy watching process because I know lots of people just like to watch artists work. Today I'm thinking that we create something really gorgeous using gold leaf as the outline. So we're basically going to create the outline of our design with gold leaf. So we're going to be using some very fine tip brushes. I just got these brushes. I kept seeing them advertised on Instagram called Fumi Art. Anyway, I ordered them and I thought, such a weird shape. Anyway, they're amazing. So I'm going to be using those and show you how they work. So what we're going to do today is we are going to take one of my most favorite images in the whole world. And in fact, it's probably one of the most famous art images in the whole world. And it is the Great Wave off Kanagawa. And it's created by a Japanese artist called Hokusai in 1831. And he did a whole series of views of Mount Fuji, but this one is the most famous. And a couple of years ago, I went to see his exhibition in the British Museum, and it was incredible. And I saw multiple different versions of this because it's a woodcut, so you often see it with slightly different colorways. I have used this image a lot with art classes, and I've taught people, complete beginners, to paint it with acrylics, and they've always just been like, oh, created amazing things. So let's get on with it. And oh, by the way, if you know me, yeah, I had a haircut. I'm trying to get rid of all my old color because I'm letting all the gray hair come through and just embracing. What else can you do? Okay, let's create. So I've got my A4 canvas panel and I've chosen a limited palette, and what I'm going to do is I'm using acrylics, but I am dipping my brush in without any water because I want the paint to be as opaque as possible. It's probably going to require about 3 coats to look really nice, but right now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of create the shape of the wave, create a sky, and then use my beautiful Paynes grey as the sea. And Paynes grey is the most amazing colour because it's almost like a midnight blue, but equally it can almost look black in times. So very useful colour, which I recommend adding to your palette for sure. And guys, just choose any colours that you like. Okay, so that's my dog. Artist license all the way. You can see that as I start to add more layers and build up the body of the paint and really using that big soft brush to bring the colours together, the sky is starting to look much better. And now, importantly, we are adding Mount Fuji. And Hokusai painted a series, created a series because they were primarily produced as woodblock prints. But he is part of a series called 36 Views of Mount Fuji. But this image has become just so iconic, and I think it's like the most reproduced Japanese artwork in history. You know, phone cases, bags, dog bowls. So yeah, let's just keep painting, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use a pencil to try and map out the basics of the composition. The video doesn't show it very well. You can see the pencil on dark colour, but it's very light. But you could use a white pencil, I guess, that would work, but it just doesn't show it very well in the video. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use gold acrylic, and I'm going to paint the whole design with a thin layer of this gold colour, and that will really help me figure out the design, and then I can apply all the gold leaf on top of this. So yes, it's going to take a while, but it's worth it, trust me. I've been practicing with these Fumi art brushes, and I'm going to add the link in the description. I had them ordered from China, took a long time, but they're all over Instagram, and you just think, oh, that looks good. And I've been practicing with them, and I total convert. So obviously, to get a fine line, you really need to make your gold paint quite wet, so it's like flowing like ink, and you can just dip the tip of your brush into the gold paint to get these really fine lines. And again, we're going to use the same technique when it comes to applying the glue as well. I'm so enjoying seeing this design emerge, and what I think you need to think about if you are doing this yourself is that you really just need to try and release yourself from trying to create a perfect copy of Hokusai's piece, and you can just create any shapes that you like, and you know, if you go wrong, you can just paint over it. So try and just use your freedom of creativity, and make sure that all of your brush strokes are creating a sense of shape. So, you know, you've got curved lines instead of straight lines. If you have straight lines, it's going to make the wave look a bit flat. So to make it more dynamic, have lots of different angles, and just enjoy it, because honestly, I'm having so much fun right now. It's time to apply the glue, which with Goldleaf is called Size. And obviously I'm going to link my favourite products in the description, which I think are pretty much universally available. And all you're going to do is well, I say all. Okay, guys, it's going to take a long time. We are going to put glue over all of our design. So we can use a bigger brush in places, and then we're going to go back to tiny brushes, like the rigger or the tiny one or the Fumi brush. And I was actually shocked how long this took me to do, but it's so worth it. So just enjoy the process. If you're really pedantic and fussy like me, you'll enjoy it, and if you're more loose and free, you'll probably be like, this is horrible. Anyway, let's do it. Now it's time for our reward after all that hard work. So we've left the size. I have actually left this overnight, and when you touch it with your finger, it should feel a bit like a post-it note or like scotch tape. I recommend that you leave it for at least an hour if you don't want to leave it overnight. If you're working on paper, you could probably do it within about half an hour, but on canvas, you can leave it for longer. This glue is amazing. It's specialist glue, so don't go thinking you can use any type of glue. It stays, what you say, open, so it's usable for like 24 hours, but it actually stays sticky forever. But especially with such a delicate design, what you don't want to do is to start applying the gold leaf before the glue has gone to this perfect state of tackiness, because you might squash it or smudge it, and we want to feel really confident that we can be quite vigorous with our brushing to get rid of all the excess. On my channel, I have so many videos about how to gold leaf from start to finish. Right now what I'm doing is I'm actually pressing the gold leaf into the surface, but using the tissue as a sort of shield. And then I feel like it's almost burnished into the surface. And at this stage, what we can do is we can take a small, stiffer brush and we can start working away and start to reveal the design. And honestly, this is the most satisfying, rewarding thing I've done in a long time. So I hope if you're doing it too, you enjoy it. As you can see, I'm actually swapping from brush to brush. So I've got quite a small, stiff painting brush, which I'm using to scrub in all different directions, to almost go in at all different angles to reveal the smaller areas. And then with this large, soft mop brush, what I'm doing is, by using the circular action, I'm getting rid of the larger pieces of gold leaf, but at the same time, the process is burnishing that gold leaf into the glue even more. So when I come to reveal it with the small brush, I feel very secure. So far we've had no glitches, and I haven't kind of felt that any areas have smudged. But what I have realized is, yet again, this is going to take a long time. So let's go time lapse. I'm loving the dots of seafoam, and I think they're really important because they add some hints of gold into that sky colour. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear off all the excess gold leaf, which are called skewings, and I'm going to be able to see at that stage if there's any places that I missed with the glue, which to be honest is very likely because there's so much detail on this design, so it's pretty likely that I might have left some places. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all my skewings into my big tin full of excess gold, which kind of just keeps growing. Oh wow, so even though I've missed some places, I am really happy with how this is turning out. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just go in, fix those areas really quickly, and then we'll have our final reveal. We have finally finished, and I am so happy with this. And I've had this idea for quite a while because I absolutely love this image, the Great Wave, and it's reproduced in so many different ways, and I wanted to give it my own twist with the gold leaf. So I hope that if you try this, it comes out really well and you just have so much fun. This is my son's best friend with her matching tattoo. She loves the Great Wave, so I often give her my Great Wave experiments. Thank you so much for being here, and I really hope you'll join me for the next one. If you want to learn more about gold leaf, like basics information or more advanced, go to my channel and look through my playlists, and hopefully there's something there that will help you. Okay, bye guys.